Thank you, Abhishek. Preface to lyrical ballads or Wordsworth as a literary critic. Page number 43 of Srimati. A question number should be given. Preface to Lyrical Ballads, 1800, is a critical essay by William Wordsworth. With the publication of this essay, a new age started. The literary criticism of William Wordsworth is considered to be the manifesto of the English Romantic movement. तो इंग्लिश रोमांटिक पोइट्री यहाँ से शुरू हुआ, ये बुगुल बजाया, अब देखो नई तरह की कविता आ रही है. Wordsworth was not a literary critic. To write criticism in reaction to the criticism published in Quarterly Review. ये क्रिटिक नहीं था, कवि था, लेकिन इसकी आलोचना इस मैगजीन में किया गया तो गुस्से में यह जवाब दिया है वर्ड्सवर्थ. Wordsworth added a preface to the second edition of the Lyrical Ballads. From his essay, we get an idea of his views on nature of criticism, poetic creation, poetic diction. Please turn over the page, Abhishek. So he has covered these points. Achha, now one by one we are dealing. Nature of poetry. Wordsworth wanted that poetry should be composed in the real language of men. Nice quotation. And you see the lovely handwriting of this girl, Smriti. 2 lines gap here, 2 line gap here. Everything looks so clean. So the examiner will be happy to award you marks. Good marks. She got a first class. The 18th century poetry was too narrow. For example, The Rape of the Lock, which is a capital L, was on Belinda's lock of hair. Wordsworth wanted that poetry should serve the interest of man. Good quotation. Quotation 6. Then this is like this 9, 2 line gap here, 2 line gap here. So this handwriting is so good that examiner will give good marks. Wordsworth wrote poems on incidents of common life. For example, we may mention the solitary reaper, the leech gatherer. So these are poor persons, and Wordsworth wrote poems on poor persons. He wrote about the low and rustic life. Low means poor people, rustic village life. Now, poetic creation. According to Wordsworth, this very important quotation. Poetry is a spontaneous overflow of our feelings. हठात दिल से निकल जाओगे कविता. Poetry is a spontaneous, हठात निकलना. Overflow, निकल जाता है. Powerful, बहुत बड़ा emotion, बहुत शक्तिशाली है. Powerful feeling. For example, Yarrow Unvisited is an example of good poetry. Take one thing. Then another definition of poetry. Poetry is emotion recollected in tranquility. इत्मीनान बैठे हैं, ट्रैंक्विलिटी, इत्मीनान, शांति से बैठे और आपकी भावना आ रही है तो वो हो जाएगी कविता. ये वर्ड्सवर्थ का थ्योरी है. T.S. Eliot तो उसको बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं करता. T.S. Eliot. In his preface, Wordsworth mentions poems like Idiot Boy, Brothers, Poor Susan. It's about the poem subject matter. Now, poetic diction. Wordsworth uses the words which come directly from the heart of the heart. So Wordsworth wants to use words which come directly from the heart. छोटा थोड़ा शब्द जिस दिन से निकलता है उसके बारे. He revolts against the artificial diction of the 18th century. वो 18th century के खिलाफ विद्रोह कर जाता है. Artificial diction. For example, Pope 18th century का calls a pair of scissors. कैंची का 2 लेग थे. अब कैंची है तो उसको 2 लेग ठीक कर देता है. So it rape of the lock है. Come on. And we come to the last page. Wordsworth justifies the use of meter, ताल. He is regular. It is regular. The ताल बार बार होता है. It gives a pattern to art and literature. To दिशा दे, pattern है. देखिए pattern यहाँ बताते हैं. For example, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. तो क्या है? An accented, accented, an accented, accented, an accented, accented, an accented. तो 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 इसमें भी है. And dances with the daffodils. यहाँ भी accented, accented, accented. ये विचार है. To conclude, Wordsworth is a great critic and poet of the Romantic Age. बस conclusion हो गया. और इसमें अपना भी जोड़ा कीजिए तब आपका आंसर अच्छा होगा. और हम अपना पोस्टल एड्रेस दे रहे हैं बार बार. प्रोफेसर B.K. मिश्रा रिटायर्ड 55 गंगा बुक 812001 बिहार इंडिया. फॉर सेंडिंग हार्ड कॉपीज एंड योर आंसर्स फॉर करेक्शन. अपना हार्ड कॉपी भेजिए. हम आपको सह कर आपको बता दें कहाँ गलती कर रहे हैं और क्या कहते हैं, कल क्या कहते हैं, मेरा बेटा बेटी दोनों चली जाएगी, मेरी वाइफ तो है ये नहीं है, सूनापन है, आपका आंसर आएगा तो कुछ मन लगेगा। दैट्स ऑल, थैंक यू।